Okay, so we're going to do a little compare and contrast. On the left-hand side is my recording of La Gazza Ladra from 3 months ago, and on the right-hand side will be a recording of La Gazza Ladra that I made probably a week ago. Um, we'll listen to each excerpt and then talk about a couple things that I'm hearing and things I'm going to be focusing on, and we'll reconvene uh, later down the road. Hopefully, trying to get to a point where I have this stuff kind of just locked in. So again, left hand side is 3 months ago. Right hand side is very recent, like within the last week. Okay. So here you go. Excerpt one. Oop, there we go. Okay. So off the rip, probably the thing that sticks out the most obvious thing, is I'm playing two different editions. um, this is something that's like super important, especially for young players. Um, you need to pay attention to what edition of a solo or uh, orchestra part that you're reading from, especially if you're working towards uh, taking auditions. It's like, for example, the David. Everyone knows the David concertino. Um, there's like two main editions. One edition doesn't have the trills or the trill. Oh, no, there's two trills. And then the more common edition, the one that orchestras are going to want to hear, I think it's the Moeller edition. That one has the trills on the F and F sharp towards like almost two letter D, the ba ya 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 da 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 ya 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 da da da, like that little motif at the end. Um, and like here, the edition I'm playing on the left, the second trombone part doesn't have the beep bop 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 bop, like the pedal stuff that's like, oh, not pedal not like pedal tones, but the bass note in the third trombone part. Whereas the second trombone part of the edition I'm using on the right hand side does. Uh, I think most orchestra directors are going to want to hear the right side. They're going to want to hear the full excerpt because they're used to hearing that in the section, especially when it comes to like the trombone soli stuff. Think La Gazza Ladra, think Hungarian March. The big uniform, big sound stuff. Most artistic directors, orchestra directors, music directors are going to want to hear solid, bold playing with great articulation and all the notes available. So if you have a copy of the excerpt and it doesn't have those notes, compare against the third trombone part and write them in, or just make sure you get the right edition off of IMSLP or wherever you get your excerpts from. And if you're trying to get ready for like an actual professional audition, like 9 times out of 10, the orchestra is going to have like an excerpt packet that they'll provide. Some of them make it readily available for free. You can download it from the job posting on their website, or you can reach out to the personnel manager and they'll email it to you, or they will mail it once they receive your deposit check when like because they really Some orchestras really only want to work with people who are serious about the audition, and they weed those people out by requiring a deposit. So off the rip, besides the audition stuff, I think on a cursory listening, I think my sense of time and articulation are better on the right hand side, and those really come from solid repetition and metronome practice. I think my time could still be a little bit better. I think my breathing tends to force me, not force me, but I drop time when I breathe. So that's something I need to just pay attention to and continue to work on with a metronome. Tone, I think, is pretty consistent. Environment when you record is super important. So, like on the left hand side, I'm in a practice room at like one of the high schools I teach at, and then on the right hand side, I'm in the band hall for one of the schools I teach at. The left hand side, a little bit drier, not a lot of like reverb or so like any resonance you hear is like me forcing not forcing it, but it's coming from me and not from the environment. Whereas on the right hand side, it's like an all brick plastic floor band hall, very boomy, lots of reverb. I like playing in there. I think the sound is good. It's a pretty wet environment as far as like from an audio engineering perspective. Um, but the brick I think lends a certain amount of like fire and flame to the sound that I really like. It's one of the reasons why I love playing tenor trombone. I don't get me wrong, bass trombone's a lot of fun, but they're different instruments with different sound profiles. They need to be treated that way. So often I hear bass trombone players who play bass trombone like a tenor player, and it doesn't sound quite right. Um, so addition, environment, time and articulation. Let's keep going. Okay, another case in point of the additions being different. Left hand side, the arpeggiated stuff has a break. On the right hand side, the arpeggiated stuff doesn't have a break. It's continuous. Um, Now, if you get an addition from like an audition packet that doesn't have like the consistent arpeggiated stuff, I mean, you play what's in the packet. Like they curate those things for a reason. Like when they put together the packet, it's the the committee the committee who's going to be deciding your fate has a list of things they want to hear, and they expect you to play what's on the page. Um, Again, I think my take on the right is better. Um, there's still things I need to refine. Like I think articulation is better on the whole, but there's still burrs to the beginning of notes. Like things are just like super nitpicky. Whereas like if I was a high school kid or if I was in like early undergrad, like nowhere close to taking it, being ready to take auditions, I might let that slide. I might. Now we're like I'm in a position where I'm thinking grad school for thinking about master's doctoral degree, thinking about honestly trying to take some auditions, maybe win a job, that type of thing. I need to gear towards perfection, and I don't know if I don't know if this because I don't really I've been out of school for a long time. I don't know if this is like acceptable improvement over 3 months. Um, Granted, it's not like I was at the grindstone working on this excerpt every day over the last 3 months. Because again, I'm a private teacher. Um, I teach a bunch throughout the week, and I gig a lot. Like, practice time for me is kind of at a premium. Um, so yeah, let's keep going. Okay, so that's the third excerpt. Again, very obvious I'm playing different editions. Like, that's been like the big takeaway for me. And I didn't realize that until I listened to these back to back a couple days ago. Um, on the left hand side, the edition I'm using, I think I got off of IMSLP. The edition on the right hand side, I had gotten from an audition packet for the Louisiana Philharmonic. Because they have an audition coming up in like a month that I was considering submitting my resume for. Um, and so that edition there's some key differences. In excerpt 1, it has the beep bop bop beep bop bop beep bop 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 ba, like the constant quarter note thing. In the second excerpt, it has the continuous arpeggiated motif, and then here in the third excerpt, it has the triplets. And I know that I think there's another edition that has like constant triplets. Like it's a pretty common motif. This one doesn't have it, but it has it the one time. I think in total, I think my time is good. I think on the left hand side, on all 3 takes, I am slightly under tempo. On the right hand side, I think I'm closer. I do think I'm closer. Is the right hand side take perfect? No, no. Is it better on the whole? I think so. Um, I'm kind of intrigued um, what this will sound like in like another month or two. Um, I may try and get a different environment too. I think I may want to use like one of the auditorium stages at one of the schools I teach at. I think that will provide a very interesting comparison. So we have one take where I'm in a practice room, very dry. I have one take where I'm in like a brick and mortar linoleum floor band hall, super like tinny, kind of. It's not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I like the fire and brilliance to the sound, but it's not like where I want it to be. And I think in something like an auditorium, I'm gonna have a little bit more control over that as well. It's also worth noting, I'm recording this. Both of these takes were recorded off of an iPhone 15. I've actually been very shocked about the audio quality. Like, it's not terrible. Um, I used to record. I had like a mobile version of like a Shure mic that plugged into my phone. But when I bought I bought one that had like a lightning port, and the new iPhones use USB-C, so I don't have access to that mic anymore. It also might be worthwhile to like set up my MacBook with one of my Blue microphones, just to get raw audio. We'll see. Um, yeah. Overall, like I am happy with where I am, uh, knowing that I still have room for improvement, which I think is like the important thing behind recording yourself. I tell students all the time they are on the wrong. You, not just them. You, the listener, you're on the wrong side of the bell to make any real judgments about your playing, especially in the heat of the moment. Record yourself. Actively record yourself. I record a ton. I post probably 5% of what I record. Um, yeah. So yeah, longer video. This took like 15 minutes. It's only like, I don't know, 2.5 minutes of playing. Uh, so yeah, like 12 minutes of actual talking about music. That's kind of cool. Um, I don't know what excerpt I'll do next for this. I have a recording slate for the week. I'll try and get some stuff recorded tomorrow and on Thursday. So maybe I'll get some more editing done over the weekend. But yeah, if you like the video, do the whole subscribe thing. You check me out on Instagram and all that. So thanks. Have a great day.